jobs, but created opportunities for the youth. Our JIP empowerment program has provided, soft loans for over 300,000 individuals and corporations, while our, conditional cash transfer has been made available to about 200,000 families, very poor and vulnerable. So when you look at the real facts, that look, this is a government that is really very, concerned and passionate about youth development. You cannot take a sentence out of context to say that the president has insulted our young ones. I think judge us by our actions and not by your own emotion.
He gave the assurance that the present administration will continue to initiate more youth-friendly policies and further reduce unemployment in the country. Permanent secretaries have been reminded of their role in efficient service delivery to Nigerians. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, gave the reminder at the induction program for 41 recently appointed permanent secretaries. Adebola Brooksland Sunday has details.
Although these permanent secretaries have over the years acquired experiences, the induction program is to adequately groom them with the required managerial skills to enable them inject more life into the service.
And increased productivity in the public
Speakers,
sector.
one after the other, charged participants to work hard to improve the bureaucracy in terms of staff dedication to duty, efficiency, accountability, and selfless service.
In terms of engaging either your political appointees or the DGs to see that implementation of budget is improved in the system.
The positive initiative, quality advice, matured handling of sensitive and volatile situations, and strong commitment to uphold the ethics and values of the civil service.
Learn from past mistakes and strengthen capacities to enable us strike a balance in our day-to-day duties.
The permanent secretaries themselves are very, very zealous to carry out their assignments with all patriotism and loyalty and commitment.
The induction training program is to further enable the civil service drive government policies and programs that will translate into the well-being of Nigerians.
Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Now, the beauty of democracy is its principle of representation, which the legislative arm of government, especially the National Assembly, represents to provide checks and balances to the activities of government. This was the submission of speakers at the just concluded Legislative Conference 2018 on the role of the legislature in Nigeria's democracy. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Zumba reports.
The theme of the conference is the importance of the legislature in Nigeria's democratic governance, progress, challenges and prospects. In spite of its checkered political evolution due to series of military interregnum in Nigeria's political history, the legislature has remained resolute in exercising its role in the system, especially in the current political dispensation. The Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki in a message said negative projection of the legislature cannot achieve the intended development.
They have always been the tool that the press, with due respect, and those enemies of democracy have used in order to continue to demean the process of our democratic governance.
The destiny and survival of Nigeria is tied to the successes of our democracy, and most especially the legislature.
All over the world, we know that the best model is democracy, and nothing has been found to replace this model of the best governance.
The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies said major constructive changes in the Nigerian political system have been engendered by the National Assembly's reform of the Electoral Act.
That the primary purpose of government at all levels in Nigeria, federal, state and local government in Nigeria, to promote the security, and second, to promote the welfare of all people in Nigeria.
People should understand the nature of the legislative duties.
There was interactive session among participants on the perception of citizens against the legislature, the way forward. Ifeanyi Zumba, NTA News.
And staying with the legislature, the House of Representatives Committee on Environment says the National Assembly has a strategic role to play in achieving a gas flare-free society. Consequently, the members, in continuation of their oversight visits to gas plants in the country, were in Edo and Delta states, where they reiterated Nigeria's quest to end gas flaring ahead of the 2030 target date. National Assembly correspondent Rabi Musa completes the report.
Statistics indicate that valuable energy resources that could be used to support economic growth are wasted through gas flaring. The members of the House Committee on Environment and Habitat during the visit to an indigenous gas plant in Ovade commend the company for achieving zero flaring level.
I've been to so many facilities where one of the major issues we have is that of gas flaring, and that also has its own health hazards. But here we see a facility that has zero flare, and I think other companies should emulate that.
One of the challenges we have is the challenge of environmental issues, and they have maintained their status.
The major concern, our concern is to see that they comply with the extant laws.
Flaring brings a lot of issues, environmental, and we're losing money.
We want to really catch them on pollution, but the way they are processing it, there's no way you can really catch them on that pollution, because they are really take care of the pollution.
These achievements notwithstanding, there are challenges.
Multiple regulatory regimes from the federal, state, even local governments, they're impacting on our operations.
And the gas is exported through NGC to power the thermal stations across the country.
The indigenous gas company, registered under the United Nations Protocol, operates in 18 local communities of Edo and Delta states. Rabi Musa, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. We'll take a short break now to bring you some messages. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us on the news. Nigeria and the International Fund for Agricultural Development are committing $60 million towards youth development in the Niger Delta. The money will be spent under a program tagged Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprise Program for the Niger Delta. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
The Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprise, codenamed LIVE, was jointly designed in 2017 with the International Fund for Agricultural Development, with the aim of eradicating poverty and joblessness amongst youth in 6 states of the Niger Delta. The youth will engage in all aspects of agriculture, from production, processing to marketing in the region. Osama Hassani, IFAD's program officer for West and Central Africa, says the multi-million naira program is expected to commence next year.
And the NDDC has also committed $30 million in funding to the program to scale up the program to the remaining states in the Niger Delta.
In the same vein, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture is introducing a similar program that will empower rural farmers in all the farming communities across the country.
We need tractors. We need to clear land. We need to do things. But the youth and the women, because we're looking in our ministry, are looking at a program called the Strengthening of Womanhood in the rural areas. We need to lift them up.
Records by the Central Bank of Nigeria and that of the Ministry of Agriculture show that the Buhari agricultural program has created new millionaires, mostly youth, in the last half years. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And a bit in security now, the Nigerian Army is to begin a new operation in Borno State, codenamed Operation Last Hold, focusing on full restoration of socio-economic activities in northern Borno and the Lake Chad fringes. Announcing the operation at a news conference, the Chief of Training and Operations, Major General David Ahmadu, noted that dynamism in the mode of operations of the terrorists prompted the development. The operation will usher in superior tactics and rapid response to threats, and is part of activities marking the 2018 Nigerian Army Day celebrations.
The operational end state of Operation Last Hold is the total defeat of the Boko Haram terrorist sect
There will be, however, a very robust engagement of civic activities aimed at ensuring that the internally displaced persons will be relocated back to their homes and also assist in the renovation and rebuilding of the homes of those who have lost their accommodations.
The operation will commence on May the 1st to August 31st, 2018. Now for some politics now, the Committee of Concerned Political Parties has condemned what it calls undue interference by some elder statesmen and political elites to redirect constitutional provisions in the activities of the Independent National Electoral Commission and other national issues in their favor. This was the position of the group during a media briefing on the state of the nation. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba has details.
The Committee of Concerned Political Parties is a coalition of executives of 42 registered political parties working towards what it calls deepening Nigeria's democracy. Coming from the recent development in the National Assembly, the committee described as unacceptable any action that could truncate the nation's democracy. It also observed unnecessary overbearance by some legislators and political elites to tamper with the independence of the electoral umpire INEC, as well as in matters of national peace and security.
Sadly, CCPP observe that our country democracy is under attack as a result of high-level conspiracies by few political elites, either statesmen and some members of the National Assembly who are bent to have our country perpetually under their control. But the President Buhari-led government never gave them such privileges. We call on those that are manipulating the system for selfish reasons to further their political interests to have a rethink.
The committee commended the commitment of INEC to ensuring that all eligible Nigerians get their permanent voters card. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba, NTA News.
And Buhari Media Support Group has metamorphosed into Buhari Media Organization with a view to reinvigorating media support for the re-election of President Buhari for a second term in office. During the unveiling of the new logo in Abuja, the organization said the achievements of the present administration deserved better reportage to avail Nigerians the opportunity to evaluate the performance of the government in the last 3 years. The new organization is having seasoned media practitioners who will utilize the second media platform during the electoral process to showcase the giant strides of President Buhari.
Constant engagement that we'll continuously have with the media. It's not about talking back to you what we are doing, but also receiving objective criticisms and suggestions as to the way forward.
We're mindful of the challenges ahead, and our activities would have to grow beyond mere support. And if we're going to go beyond supporting this government, we need to have greater stake and input into what is happening.
And from the health sector now, the strike action by the joint health workers unions, which entered its third day today, has continued to make patients experience difficulties in accessing healthcare services. Health correspondent Aisha Uba Ali, who visited the National Hospital in Abuja, reveals that at the Accident and Emergency Unit, doctors are rendering skeletal services.
The National Hospital falls under the category that are embarking on the nationwide strike by Joint Health Workers Union, JOHESU. The strike, according to JOHESU, for now covers only tertiary health institutions, and this seems so obvious at the National Hospital. From the gate to the wards, everything seems to be at a halt.
Been here for the past 1 hour. No, the doctors promised to be here to attend to us.
I have been here as early as 7:20. And up to now, you see me sitting.
You cannot even make any payments now.
because the supportive staff are on strike.
Trying to manage them skeletally, what we can do, give them their medication, and then doctors are reviewing some of them. Then we'll do the best we can to keep them while they are here.
The Jehesu president says the federal government must make effort to see that the nation's health system is not shut down.
The ministry is run by doctors alone. Doctors alone. They are also kowtowing to the dictates of NMA and NARD.
He says if nothing is done to put an end to the strike, secondary and primary health institutions will join the strike. Patients appeal that government should try to settle the differences for the sake of Nigerians. For now, the strike remains indefinite until the demands of the group is met. In Abuja, Aisha Oba Ali, NTA News.
Time to go over to Lagos now, where Elizabeth has the next set of stories. Elizabeth?
It's nice to see you, Cyril, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Veroni Nigeria Limited, the manufacturer of building materials, sanitary wares, daily necessities and household supplies, has introduced its brand of sanitary pads, diapers for babies and adults, as well as its detergent into the Nigerian market. Actor Mercy Johnson Okoje was also unveiled as the brand ambassador of the products. That was Mercy Johnson Okoje signing the contract with Veroni Nigeria Limited as their brand ambassador. The multiple-role interpreter will be the face of the new products, Veroni detergent, diapers and sanitary pads for a period of 2 years. For the brand ambassador, the products are a must-have for all homes.
The diapers for children, you strap it, the strap is so tight, holding on to the kid, it absorbs. You know, I've gotten to try a few of them and it's just perfect.
Veroni diapers are made with premium natural cotton, which absorbs easily with no leaks, giving the users feeling of dryness. While the Veroni sanitary pad is specially formulated to protect girls and women with its cotton soft surface, highly absorbent for enhanced comfortability. The president of Veroni Nigeria Limited says the company is committed to improving the quality of life of Nigerians.
We make sure that the quality is #1 because we are always reputable.
We would like to raise a special support from the government, the organizations who are in charge, and to protect us. We're going to provide some proof which shows the imitators, especially the fabricated products, which is very harmful to the health of the citizens.
Everything they see, as long as it's Veroni, it has quality. I can confess to that.
The third product, Veroni detergent, comes in different sizes, removes stubborn stains, melts and foams easily, protects colors, and leaves a fresh fragrance on clothes. Veroni Nigeria Limited was established in 1994 to focus on quality control as well as promote the standard of living of the citizens. A cash reward company, Consumer Electronic Dip, CELD, in partnership with the National Lottery Trust and other private concerns, have introduced a reward scheme known as Cash Token for consumers to win from 5,000 naira to 100 million naira every Friday after purchase of products at partner outlets. Amaka Owo, who covered the launch in Lagos, reports that organizers say the initiative will also boost government revenue generation drive.
Consumer Electronic Dip, CELD, says Cash Token is an initiative drive that rewards consumers' loyalty while giving them added value for purchase of goods and services. Senior representatives of CELD and reveal that the scheme, which is technologically driven, qualifies consumers for the lottery draw.
Each cash token that you get offers you an opportunity to win between 5,000 naira and 100 million naira every Friday night and guarantees you money for financial inclusion, which is insurance, pension and savings.
All the companies that sign on to this initiative, not only Keystone Bank, if other banks can actually extend to their customers such that any transaction they carry out, all right, up to a particular limit, they get a token. So it entitles them to the draws and they could just win.
Innovation in the third world comes with pain before pleasure.
The Executive Secretary, National Lottery Trust Fund, Bello Maigari, explained how Cash Token will boost revenue generation in the country.
The National Lottery Trust Fund is established by law
to take a percentage of 20% of all lottery operations played in Nigeria. We are taking custody of these funds. We are to apply them to promote good causes projects.
With projections by the company that about 30 to 50 million Nigerians will give and receive cash token in 3 years, the innovation will create sustainable cycle of prosperity among businesses, customers, government, family and friends. In Lagos, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this time out. Stay with us.
Time for some business news now. Oil boom for Nigeria as prices hit above $73 a barrel and equities closed on a negative note. Let's join Musa Abubakar for details on business news.
Hello, welcome to Business News. Improvement in Nigeria's oil earnings is on course, with prices held firm on Thursday and Friday, nearing 3-year high. An ongoing OPEC-led supply cuts, as well as strong demand, gradually draw down excess supplies. Brent crude oil futures were up more than $73 per barrel earlier today, and crude futures down 2% at above $68 a barrel. Both Brent and YTI, which Nigeria produces, hit their highest levels since November 2014. WTI is set for its second weekly gain. In its relentless move to guarantee liquidity in the foreign exchange market, the Central Bank of Nigeria has intervened in the retail secondary market intervention sales segment of the market to the tune of $396.18 million. According to the figures obtained from the CBN on Friday, the release sum is meant to meet agriculture, airlines, petroleum products, raw materials and machinery sectors, as well as to ensure liquidity. Equities in the Nigerian Stock Exchange declined 0.14% to close Friday's session at 40,814.89 basis points and a market capitalization of 14.7 trillion naira. Seplat Guarantee and FBNH topped the gainers table, while Mobile Dangote Cement and Glasgow Smith led the losers chart. Zenith Bank, FBNH, and Owando were the most traded shares. That's it on Business News.
Improving education to its maximum standard is one of the cardinal principles of a non-governmental organization, HD Foundation, Yola, Adamawa State. Yusuf Jika reports that the ideology was demonstrated when the foundation donated teaching and learning materials worth millions of naira to Tongo Primary School in Yola Town.
Improving educational standards for a brighter future is the priority of HD Foundation, a non-governmental organization to accelerate the learning capacity of pupils, especially those in public schools. Going by this, the organization deems it fit to donate learning aids to famous Tongo Primary School with a view to uplifting morale of the teachers and pupils to meet the challenges of the present time, as explained by the founder of the organization, Halima Abdulhamid Dembo.
At least you can put a smile on someone's face, because the children are liking some educational materials, like these books, decks, and so on. So the foundation decided to put something in the schools so that the children too will have something in life. At least they will appreciate, they will do one or two things.
Various speakers on the occasion commended the foresight of the donor and described the gesture as good omen to the school and the society in general.
The role of a teacher can never be overemphasized, because without teachers, all of us cannot be where we are today.
A foundation that does things like that should be appreciated, should be encouraged. We pray that God will be with them and improve more.
High points of the event were the presentation of awards to outstanding teachers in Adamawa State and the fun fair. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
And there's more on education ahead as we go over to our Benin Center, where Agatha brings us a report on the overall of basic education in Edo State. Good evening, Agatha.
Good evening, Cyril, and a warm welcome to Benin. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has launched the Edo Basic Education Sector Transformation, Edo Best, with an intensive training session for teachers to kickstart the overhaul of the basic education subsector. Goodluck Inaini reports that another training will follow before the end of the year.
Over 2,000 teachers representing 469 primary schools across the state were trained on new teaching methods, deployment of information and communication technology tools in teaching, harmonization of teaching and learning outcomes across locations, as well as the adoption of interactive classroom. The aim is to reposition teachers in the state in line with modern-day realities. Governor Obaseki, who described the response as a sign of success, said the initiative will include governance and institutional development, teachers and curriculum development, community participation and partnership, infrastructure and organizational development. He said henceforth, the position of head teacher will be on competence, just as anyone who built on land belonging to any school risks its forfeiture. The chairman, NUT, Edo State, Comrade Pius Ohwenigbe, described the initiative as worthwhile as he pledged the support of the union. In Benin, I am Goodluck Inaini, NT News.
That's the package from this end. The news continues with Jumai in Maiduguri.
Thank you very much, and a very warm welcome to Maiduguri. 7 Boko Haram terrorists have surrendered to troops of Operation Lafia Dole in the front line of counterinsurgency Operation Deep Punch 2. Theater Commander Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Rogers Nicholas, who paraded the repentant terrorists, charged others within but still in hiding to take advantage of the opportunity of a dignified life provided by the federal government. Mohammed Ibrahim reports.
These latest 7 repentant Boko Haram terrorists comprise 3 adult males, a female, and 3 children who surrendered in Kumshe of Bama local government area near the Samiza forest. Major General Rogers Nicholas said troops on operations in the theater are making efforts to reach out to those that want to surrender, which led to this first batch that include 2 Boko Haram commanders, a medical practitioner, and women leader.
We're giving them medical attention, giving them food, and also try to recruit them to make them clean. They are part of us, and we don't have any regrets having them. You'll be happy if more of them can come out.
The theater commander said they have been treated humanely since their surrender, against the belief of others that think the army is only out to kill and will undergo profiling and other de-radicalization process under the Operation Safe Corridor of the federal government. In an interview with NTA News, some of the repentant Boko Haram members who confirmed their former membership to Shekau faction said they heeded the call of the federal government that they are also Nigerians, hence surrendered and begged for forgiveness.
About 300 fighters are willing to surrender, but waiting to see our fate before they come out.
They called on others to come out and live a dignified life. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
That's our beat from Maiduguri. It's back to Cyril in Abuja for more on NTA Network News.
And thank you, Jubai. And back here in Abuja, the federal government is to include the annual African Drums Festival in the National Arts Calendar as part of efforts to maximize the potential of the country's culture and tourism sector. Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, made this known at the opening of the 2018 African Drum Festival in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Lekon Agbonde reports.
State African Drum Festival is becoming an household name across the globe with its color and glamour, an event to look forward to amongst tourists and lovers of music, culture and tradition. The 2018 edition, no doubt, is an improvement of the previous 2 editions as it yet brought together distinguished Nigerians, especially monarchs, who are the custodians of culture and traditions, to Abeokuta. Assemblage of drums of various makes, shapes and sizes, as well as talented talented drummers and artists drawn from across Nigeria, Africa, and other continents of the world to provide enjoyable vibes for thousands of audience. Minister of Information and Culture Alhaji Lai Mohammed noted that federal government will give backing to the annual event and explore the opportunities it provides for tourism and culture towards economic development of Nigeria.
We will continue to support this festival by making all our media platforms available to create awareness for it. We will also ensure that it is included in our national calendar of festivals when the calendar which we are working on is ready. The Drum Festival keys into our objective of turning the creative industry into a thriving industry.
The state governor, Ibikule Amosun, noted that the festival will continue to improve every year to give tourists enough to enjoy.
Let it be told that the African Drum Festival has not only come to stay in our dear state, but will be bequeathed to the next generation and the big generations yet to come as a way of advancing the uniqueness and custom, tradition, and cultural heritage.
The 2018 African Drum Festival was, however, declared open with beating of drum by the governor and the minister. Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
The need to project one united Nigeria free of violence has again been stressed. This was at a courtesy visit by Obinna Simon, popular as MC Tagway, to the NTA management. Serafina Okon reports.
Is a security issue, and all strategies have been taken.
Obinna Simon, popular as MC Tagwaye, who is well known for his skills at mimicking President Muhammadu Buhari, is leveraging on his fame to help in building a socially responsible citizenry. The Nigerian Comic Act was at the NTA to pay a courtesy call on the management, where he shared his plan to use his gifts for promoting national peace, especially as the elections draw close.
Nigeria Before Our Eyes is a comedy series I want to embark on, entertainment and comedy. It's realized that a lot of Nigerians tend to turn up for anything that has to do with entertainment. So we want to use that medium to pass to them, or better still, campaign for non-violence during election, before election, during election, and after election.
Through his projects, Nigeria Before Our Eyes, MC Tagwaye aims to address critical issues affecting the nation presently. Representing the Director General, Director News Aliu Baba Barao promised that the authority will provide necessary assistance possible.
And as you see, your representation of Mr. President and so many fora, it has to do with representation of Nigeria, the kind of people we are.
When you make a change, then you're leaving your name in the sands of time.
The project is expected to commence soon. Serafina Okon, NTA News.
Brilliant. Put an older face and you could well be listening to President Buhari. Time for another quick break. Stay with us.
Our Anchor Borers program has created an agricultural revolution. In September 2015, we imported 644,000 tons of rice, costing more than $5 million per day. By September 2017, rice imports dropped by 95% to 22,000 tons. Our maize crop has exceeded 10 million tons this year, and through our rice and maize program, we now have 12.2 million farmers. We are now the world's second largest producer of sorghum after the United States, third in millet after India, and we lead the world's production of yam and cassava. we've created numerous plantations solely for the export market, and our plan is to increase the agricultural sector from 25 to 49% of our GDP, thereby reducing poverty and increasing food security.
Sport now, and Ayodeji Makinde brings us up to date.
12 polo clubs will compete for honors in the 9th anniversary celebration of the Abuja Unity Polo Tournament, billed for May 8 to 13. Organizers who held a media parley in Abuja Thursday revealed that 4 teams each will compete in the high goal, medium goal and intermediate goal categories, with the President's Cup, Legislative Shield and Guards Brigade Cup at stake.
Definitely there's going to be a good number of foreign players, foreign participation. You can't expect anything but the best from this edition of this tournament.
A winner is set to emerge Saturday in one of the 3-phase 2018 Abuja Tennis Open as the Tom Bim Championship climax, with the Dayak and Gladiators Championships set to complete the 3-week showdown afterwards. Organizers, however, expressed satisfaction with the quality of the competition as both Nigerian and foreign players continue to display high performances.
Opportunity to give our players matches where they could win ranking points, ATP ranking points.
Arsene Wenger is to leave Arsenal at the end of the season, ending a near 22-year reign as manager. The 68-year-old Frenchman, who departs a year before his latest contract is due to expire, won 3 Premier League titles and 7 FA Cups, including the double in 1998 and 2002.
He has done well. He has left a legacy. It's high time for him to bow out so that the club can move on.
Thomas Tuchel, Patrick Vieira, Joachim Löw and Carlo Ancelotti have all been mentioned as possible replacements for Arsene Wenger at the Emirates Stadium. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
Which way the weather? Let's get a weather forecast.
Hello, it's good to bring you the weekend forecast. It's been a flurry of weather activities, predominantly entire Friday, but we expect some bit of respite going into Saturday, with predominantly partly cloudy to cloudy conditions expected across the north of the country to the central cities, with the exception of places around Ikom, Obudu, Makurdi axis and part of the southeast coast, where some early morning thunderstorms are likely. And as we progress into the afternoon, we expect pockets of isolated thunderstorms over part of the central states and the southern north, parts of Zaria, Kaduna, Jos axis extending to some part of Yewa, some part of Abuja, the inland of the southeast and part of the coast of the southeast. A few places around Benin and Akure axis and part of Lagos could also see some isolated thunderstorms in the late evening hours. And that's where we'll leave you for these tidbits. Do enjoy your weekends and stay tuned for our temperature forecast.
And that concludes Network News tonight. We thank you for watching. I'm Cyril Stober. Have a pleasant weekend.